are not necessarily quantified and accounted for, like money given to normal governmental institutions. So when it comes to national security, a lot of spendings are done on the quiet, just for the purposes of ensuring the security of the state. And there are things that are paid for, and there are all manner of people who are employed, sometimes even from the opposition, for their seamless role they play towards national security. This may never be disclosed. And as a nation, I think we must decide if national security considerations must transcend the dogmas of transparency and accountability. We must have that kind of discourse and discussions to reach that consensus so that then we can compel the National Security Minister to fully disclose what he spends his monies on and how much he spends on each item or individual. So until we do this, in my view, anything hidden under the cloak of national security would remain opaque. But now who caused up? It's been like this since 1992. We've had presidents hiring chartered flights on missions abroad, and nobody has questioned how much they spent. And so it's been there since 1992 and has been perpetuated by the very political elite, some of whom are today demanding transparency and accountability in handling these things. I think that as a Ghanaian, I am excited that we now have the Right to Information Bill or Act in full force. And I know, Champion, you did a lot of advocacy on this particular act. And so we are all excited that it is in force. And you agree with me that even before the RTI being passed, the 1992 Constitution specifically recognized same right to information under Articles 21 plus 1 and plus 1F. Again, right to information can also be inferred from freedom of expression, thought, conscience, and belief, including academic freedom under Articles 21 plus 1A, and then also B plus 1B, as well as Articles 162 and Articles 165 of the Constitution on freedom and independence of you guys in the media. So we all have the right to know how much it costs the president to fly the chartered jet. However, like all rights, they are limited both by general and specific limitations under the Constitution. Some of the bases for the limitations include for the protection of national security. And you are a lawyer, Samson. Other rights affecting the right to information and national security include Articles 18 plus 2, that talks about privacy rights. So I want to end here because I am almost in the middle of something and you called. So let me end by saying
let me ask my first question to you.
Before I end, let me end my submission so that you can pose your question. What I want to say by way of conclusion is that as a nation, we must be able to find the requisite balance between the competing interests of national security and the right to information in the context of promoting and protecting the public's right to know. And I believe that access to information is crucial for the effective promotion of national security. But at the same time, in some critical aspects and respect, national security may be enhanced by limiting aspects to certain vital information which may harm national security if unbridled exercise of right to information is permitted. Thus, national security is not fundamentally at odds with the rights to information. But in my view, what should be important is that at the end of the day, national security shouldn't be confused with regime security.
Now, I've heard you clearly question the figures that the Ablakwa has put out. But when he put the figures out, he tells us that aviation experts have assisted him to come to the cost that he put out. So my question is, will it be fair on your part, in the absence of alternative figures, to seek to question the figures he has put out and without any basis?
Well, Samson, you know that the figures of aviation experts are not necessarily the figures or the actual figures that one will have to pay if you want to hire a flight. What happens to negotiations? What happens to discounts? What happens to all those things that you have figures that may be quoted, and aviation experts can give you a rough idea or estimate of how much it is going to cost. But I think that there may be some negotiations and discussions and waivers here and there that may either reduce the cost, or, if you like, maintain it.
So your basis of questioning it boils down to suspicion and mistrust for opposition, genuineness on the part of opposition.
My basis for questioning is that, as I said, opposition generically have always been propagandistic. When they are in opposition, they know all the challenges and they are able to expose all that they are supposed to expose. But the history of the Fourth Republic show that when they get to power, they do things that are contrary to their own positions when they were in opposition. And so the point is, I am concerned. Yes, we have the right to know, and I'm interested. When I saw the Okudjeto's figures, I raised eyebrows and I said, can we spend this money on an aircraft applied for the president per hour when we are yet to extricate ourselves from the quagmires of poverty and underdevelopment? But at the same time, I had to do some more search and checks, and then my own readings that points to the fact that sometimes it isn't the case that everything that the opposition will tell you will be right.